Hello again, and welcome to Crime in Music. I'm your host, Brian J. Kinsley, and with me, as always, my friend Ben Ruba.
Hey, Chris Christopherson was also in one of those Pee-wee Big Adventure movies.
There we go. That brings us back to our last episode. Check it out. It was on the great Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, Waylon.
As we do in every episode, we talk about musicians and crime and true crime committed by musicians.
Crime.
Yeah, no, I stuttered.
And
I don't want to have a technical issue. You got me all nervous about that.
Hey, we didn't have any technical issues last episode. We got to make up for that today.
That hopefully will not happen.
Yes.
But every other
It's a
Wednesday, he
big
and I
part of
bring
our
you a true crime podcast about people in and around the music business and their misadventures into law breaking. And our new search term is music history. We rank number 11 in podcasts under music history category. So thanks, guys. Keep it up.
We did then. Now I don't even know. When you're listening to this, we could be number 10.
Oh, we might be 10 or 9.
Yeah, or less.
263.
Or better.
Who knows?
Yeah,
So if you like that sort of thing, tell a friend. We've hit most of our states except for the dreaded state that shall not be named, and Alaska, Hawaii, Vermont, New Hampshire is a little slow. But everybody else, man, we got them. We got them all. So thank you for sharing with your friends and share with more friends. Just try to get it around the world.
There's got to be something wrong with that state. Like, I'm not saying actually wrong with them, but I mean maybe internet-wise. They don't own internets.
There must not be Wi-Fi there.
Yeah, the internet doesn't go there yet.
Must be lo-fi. They'll get it someday, and when they do, share it. And if you've listened to the show before, you know who we're talking about. You know who we are.
Can we get somebody, like if you listen to our show from that state, can we find out who they are, like literally who they are, and call them up and congratulate them? We'll play some music for them.
No.
And they can be, we can't
afraid
stalk
not.
them like that.
Nope, I'm afraid not. It just tells me someone in a state downloaded our show.
All right, if you listen to our show from Wyoming,
you said it. You're not supposed to say it.
No, we can name Wyoming. We can't name. We all. We do have two people we can't name.
Those who shall not be named.
Those who shall not be named.
You know who you are. You're listeners.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Mr. and Mrs.
You're narrowing it down too much. Stop. They'll know.
Oh, to married people?
Kids are smart. They'll know. Stop.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get us in trouble.
All right. Kids are so smart.
Are you ready to play Guess the Guest?
Bum, 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 bum.
Wait, no, I can.
Bum, 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 bum.
Do you want me to do it or you got it?
Okay, so I didn't look at the thing. I don't know who it is.
No, I didn't even write it this time.
Yeah, last time I knew. I don't know if I would have gotten it or not, so we're not counting that one. That was a testing.
That was a mistake. I didn't give you enough credit there, buddy. I'll just be honest. I didn't think Ben was smart enough to look at the screen.
Ben
to see
knows
who
words. He knows all the words. So good at words. But not so much.
You went to college. You went to...
Yeah, both days.
Yeah, right. I've been to a college.
I taught college.
Yo. All right, ready to guess the guest?
Yup.
Here we go. Guess the guest this week. Nicknames.
Nickety names.
Dionysus.
Dionysus.
Nope.
Dionysus or Nisus?
Nisus.
All right, no.
The erotic politician.
Is it Ace Frehley?
No. Nice though. That's the spaceman. Space Ace.
Yeah. The erotic.
This is a gimme right here. It's also an anagram for the guy's actual name. Oh, it's a guy. Mr. Mojo Rising.
Jim Morrison?
Hey, he did it. Woo.
All right.
We don't have cheers. Crowd clap.
All right. I'm going to stop you right now, Brian.
Also, the last guess would have been the Lizard King.
Now that I would have gotten.
There you go.
I'm sorry. This is terrible.
Let's do it.
This is terrible, Brian.
Honesty with our
I'm going to
listeners.
leave now.
Why?
I can't. Jim Morrison, I can't.
Oh, I hate Jim Morrison in the Doors.
Dude.
I do.
I need a puke bucket right now.
I'm going to spit.
I'm going to puke.
Yeah, well, that's...
I'm going to spew, eh?
That's Ontario for throw up.
So I used to like Jim Morrison in the Doors.
Uh-oh.
Back during high school. Used to listen to them on cassette tape.
I like their bass player.
I even read a book. Book.
This will be
with
great.
Paper.
This will be great then.
About him.
All right.
And
can't do it.
And it was about that time that movie came out.
Oh,
remember
yeah,
the movie?
Yeah,
Who was in the movie?
I don't know. I don't like the Doors.
Whatever. So I'm over at Scott's house.
Sure.
We're eating some cookie dough.
Sure.
Do not blame the cookie dough on this, by the way.
No.
We're watching this
uncooked
movie.
eggs.
We're watching this movie, and it's just kind of a freaking depressing movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's getting deeper and deeper into the movie, and about the end of the movie, the climax where everything kind of comes together toward the end of the movie, whatever's happening, I'm now getting a headache.
No spoilers, dude.
I'm getting a headache.
No spoilers.
And I don't feel good. And I go into the bathroom and I Ralph.
Oh no!
Just spew.
You threw up because of the movie?
I'm like, ugh. And I came out of the bathroom. The movie is over. I felt better. And ever since then, this is like my brother's story with chili.
It's the chili incident.
This is the chili incident.
Chili
Instead of chili, insert The Doors.
The
For
Doors.
me,
The
Jim
Doors
Morrison.
movie.
Don't like it. Who was that actor? I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right. Jim Morrison. Hey, he's a topic. He was a poet. He's buried in France.
No spoilers, bro. No spoilers. I'm
He's
just saying.
buried in France.
People don't know.
Well, they probably know he's dead.
They don't know he's dead.
If you know who he is, you know he's dead. He hasn't put out a lot of new stuff lately.
Are you looking him up? What
yeah,
are you doing?
Just that movie. Go ahead. No, I know you got a lot of talking to do here for a minute, so I'm so good with the computer.
You're good at this.
Yeah.
December 8th, 1943, born James Douglas Morrison in Melbourne, Florida, USA.
Hollywood, Florida.
To Clara Virginia Clark and
Val Kilmer.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Val Kilmer
I knew it was somebody.
Morrison. All right, well, you guys just imagine Val Kilmer with long hair.
And Meg Ryan was in it.
Shirtless. I don't know who she's going to be.
She's probably
I know this story.
Pamela Corson.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Is that the girlfriend?
Yeah, don't wreck it. Put it away.
No.
Yes, put your phone away.
Right, who's Roger Carragher?
Oh, my God.
Go ahead.
Rodney Carrington. No, put your phone away.
I'm not.
You are not. You are. All right. He's got his mom, Clara, and his dad, though. This is important. You got to pay attention to this.
Okay.
Who's his dad?
Rob.
No, his dad is Rear Admiral George Stephen Morrison of the United States Navy.
Wow.
That's why I wanted your attention.
That's like a real thing.
Right.
That's an officer's role.
We'll get there. It's the Gulf of Tonkin comes in, too. So, James is of...
Where did he fight at?
The Gulf of Tonkin.
Is it over in the Japan's area?
That got us into the Vietnam War. We'll get there. You're jumping ahead. This is why we don't allow phones here. James.
It's an iPhone.
James or Jim. We're going to go with James. James is of Scottish, Irish, and English descent. And his dad commanded Navy forces during the Gulf of Tonkin. That sort of led us into the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. James is the oldest of 3 kids.
Is that when the French got out of it because they couldn't handle it, so we took over? The U.S. peoples.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's French
Yeah.
for yes. He had a younger brother and a younger sister. You know what that's like. He had Ann and Andrew. James was a military brat. He started out in San Diego. He finished 3rd grade at Fairfax, Virginia. 1952, Rear Admiral.
Night divides the day.
For a guy who doesn't like it, you know a
Run.
lot.
You try to
hide. Break on through to the other side.
Hey, a dog came in to visit us.
Break on through. That's because I didn't shut the door.
Hi,
so
dog.
It's the official mascot. You're easily distracted now.
Yeah, no, go. James Jim Morrison.
1952, Rear Admiral was stationed at Naval Air Station, Kingsville, Texas. It's between Corpus Christi and Harlingen off U.S. Route 77.
Yeah, Corpus Christi. That's on the Gulf side.
There you go.
No, there's only really one ocean-bearing side of Texas. I don't think you call the Rio Grande, really.
It's probably not the ocean. James went to Charles H. Flattoe Elementary School in Kingsville there in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
He then attended St. John's Methodist School in Albuquerque, New Mexico. After that, he did 6th grade in San Diego, California.
Yeah, he did move around. Army brat.
1957, James goes to Alameda High School in Alameda, California. He's a freshman and sophomore there. Did a couple years there. 1961, June, James graduates high school from George Washington High School in
Vermont?
Alexandria, Virginia.
I was pretty close.
A couple years earlier, Mama Cass of the Mamas and the Papas graduated from there.
Oh, yeah.
It all ties around, my man.
Yeah, she had a bad ham sandwich.
That'll kill you. Nice apartment, though.
Yeah.
Check our previous episodes for Mama Cass's apartment.
Yep.
James' senior year English teacher had a quote about James. It said, quote, Jim read as much and probably more than any student in class, but everything he read was so offbeat. I had another teacher who was going to the Library of Congress, checked to see if the books Jim was reporting on actually existed. I suspected he was making them up, as they were English books on the 16th and 17th century demonology.
Wow.
I'd never heard of them, but they existed, and I'm convinced from the paper he wrote that he read them, and the Library of Congress would have been the only source.
So they found them?
Yeah.
So did you hear about this school down south in the Bible Belt that it's a Christian school, and it has a library like where, we kind of grew up and went to a Catholic school. They took all the Harry Potter books out of the library.
Yeah, I just read that this morning.
Because the incantations and the what would you call them? The spells are actual spells from like the 13th and 14th century that can summon demons.
Yeah, you might summon a demon.
Just err on the side of not summoning demons.
I really don't want to summon a demon, so we really should. I have a rock right here. Actually, this bottle keeps away tigers.
It seems to work so far.
You don't see any tigers, do you? I'll sell it to you.
All right, that's proof. That's proof.
Let's put it into legislation. Everybody should have to carry this bottle that I sell.
Do you have stuff in the bottom of that?
There's a little bit left. I don't.
No, I meant like there's some
sediment.
Sediment. No, I think it's. I'm just looking at the underneath the
condensation.
Yeah, condensation.
Alcohol sediment.
Yeah.
Those solid alcohol.
Yeah, Brian's drinking again. He's having a little bottle of margarita.
I'm on a margarita.
It's like and I got Irish Guinness.
We're quite the pair.
Yeah. We should mix them together.
That would taste nasty. Speaking of bad things, James moves in with his grandparents in Clearwater, Florida.
Man, Florida. I'm just saying.
The Florida Man Challenge.
Just saying.
Just don't do it. He went to St. Petersburg College there as a junior college.
Hey, they're getting hit by a tornado down there right now. Big tornado.
Don't timestamp the episodes.
It could be. It was not. They get a lot of tornadoes down there.
That's true.
Hurricane.
Not
water
tornado.
spout.
Water tornado.
Water tornado.
That angry the sea was that day, my friend.
What's the name of this hurricane?
I don't know. Again, don't date the show, bro.
Katrina?
Wow. Yeah, actually, I'll take that. That's some credibility. We've been around since Katrina and Sandy. Well.
Hey, I felt old the other day. Had dinner with my neighbor, and her granddaughter's boyfriend was there with the granddaughter. They're 20. And he used to live down in Florida. And he's telling us about when he lived down in Florida, Katrina.
Back in the old days.
And the things he remembered about Katrina. He was 4 or something.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh, my gosh, I'm old. I remember that story.
Yeah, we had benefits for you. Your lives were tragic. We had to raise money.
What was the one that hit the Superdome? Was that Katrina?
I feel like it was Katrina or Sandy.
All right, go ahead.
1962. Back in Florida, James transfers to Florida State University.
FSU.
Woo! Go Hurricanes.
Tigers.
I feel like it's the Hurricanes. But
Vols.
That's Miami.
It's the Vols.
It's the Vols. Tallahassee. He even starred in a recruiting film for FSU. He's like, hey, come to Florida State.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. September 28th, 1963. James is at an FSU football game. Well, he's tailgating, right? He's having a good time. Got a couple beers. Quote was he had more than his share of wine. I think it was.
Wine?
And he starts making fun of the football players. Starts heckling them.
That's stupid.
He's like, hey, batter. Hey, batter, swing! Right? And so then starts in on the crowd. It's like, you people are morons. Look at your stupid fools. Watch the stupid game. You guys are dumb.
Just this little skinny wimp making fun of football people.
Yeah,
because there's not enough testosterone. You got to get them going first.
Right. So the police are called, right? But before they catch him, James steals an umbrella and a police helmet out of an unattended squad car.
Why an umbrella?
Like the window was open. Maybe it was raining.
Oh.
Maybe it was a hurricane.
Maybe he just grabbed 2 things. He had 2 hands. He would have sold 3 things if he had one more hand.
He's charged with disturbing the peace, resisting arrest, and petty larceny.
All right. He's in trouble from the get-go.
Well, he's a college kid who got drunk at a tailgating thing and, got popped by the cops.
Sometimes they'll throw you in the back of a cop car for no reason.
That'll happen. Sometimes you can just get up and leave.
That'll happen. They're not the best cops.
James paid a small fine, and charges were dropped.
All right.
January 1964, James moves to L.A. to go to UCLA.
Okay, La La Land.
He's in La La Land.
You know, these 2 schools have in common?
I do not.
They got some great-looking women at these schools. I mean, did he go to any down in Arizona or?
No,
some of these schools. I'm just saying.
That's Southern women, huh?
Well, it's the South. They don't. There, it's always warm.
Damn.
Nobody's got to worry about packing a turtleneck.
That's true.
More spaghetti string, tank tops.
It's true.
Yeah.
I heard a horrible comment about. Never mind. We won't even go there. I can't even say it. So January 1964.
Self-restraint on Brian's part is admirable.
That was great. He moves to L.A., goes to UCLA. Here's something. I put a star by it, so it must be something. Oh, August 2nd, 1964. James's dad, Rear Admiral, commander of the carrier. He commanded a carrier division during the Gulf of Tonkin incident. That's happened on August 2nd, 1964. What that had to deal with is there was one real and one fake report of contact between a North Vietnamese ship and U.S. ships. And so it was like, hey, we've encountered a North Vietnamese battleship on the water in the Gulf of Tonkin. And then another one was like, yeah, so did we. And the next thing you know, we're in the Vietnam War. So
It was probably that simple.
Well, exactly. Look into it, guys. This is not a history podcast.
I wonder if that ship and that armada, he commanded more than one ship.
He commanded a fleet of carriers, so like the aircraft carrier division was under him.
So when we were getting out of Vietnam, there were a bunch of people that were in Vietnam that were on our side, and all the North Vietnamese, all the communist Vietnamese.
Wow, that's my favorite food. Is
Words
the Vietnamese
are so
for,
good.
Words are hard.
They all started rushing all these embassies, and we're trying to
Russians?
Nah, the Russians were a little involved.
They're on the north side.
So we're now helicoptering people off of the buildings and flying them out to these ships.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we're trying to rescue people that were on our
Wasn't
side.
that Iran?
No. This is the last few
George
days.
Clooney movie about that?
No. Three Kings? No.
I don't know. That's Wahlberg.
Oh yeah.
I'm really glad to be.
So, anyways,
in Flint Township.
they ship these people off, and they're landing on these carriers, and they can't go back. They're done, and they needed to get more helicopters in. So instead of like taking the helicopter to go get another load, because we had plenty of helicopters, we had no. Okay. They just pushed the helicopters off the side of the ship after the people got off, because there was no way for the next helicopter to land, and there was no way. Let's say the pilot got back in the helicopter, he had nowhere to go.
That was the time-saving thing. Was like, here's the plan. I know it sucks, but we just got to dump these helicopters.
There was nowhere. If those helicopters then empty their load.
He got himself.
And they took back off the boat.
Yes.
But there was nowhere to go friendly in Vietnam at the time to go land the helicopter and like salvage. No, they just pushed it off.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't know. I don't want to start a whole thing, but I feel like there's some efficiencies to be made in the $80 quad billion we spend on defense and the government contracts.
You think? You don't think a $300,000 toilet seat's worth it, Brian?
I don't know. I haven't sat on it, so I don't know. I'm not in a nuclear submarine for 8 months at a clip.
Dude,
but
there were some coffee cups that were being charged. The U.S. government were buying these coffee cups or something.
Yeah.
They were like $20,000 a piece.
Oh, dude.
And that's just one thing you heard about.
Not
That's
to
just
get into
one
it, right.
story that came out.
Your girl, that'll incite a riot. Your girl AOC was talking about these clutch discs or something like that cost 15 cents to make, and we're charged like $300 per, and we buy them in cases of 1,000 or 10,000. She's like, what the hell? This is a $17 or 17-cent clutch disc. Why?
Clutch disc.
Like, why is there a clutch disc in Congress? What is happening?
You know, I don't disagree with her vibe, but
whatever. Change is
These
good.
are the politicians we have now. These are the people we vote in.
Change is good, right?
From the top down to the bottom.
Right. Well, not politicians, but poets. Let's get into that. James concentrates on English and poetry and theater while he's at UCLA. And he goes to, he actually graduates from UCLA's film school. Indeed. James made several short films while at UCLA.
Pornos.
His roommate, Max Schwartz, maybe, released one called First Love.
That sounds like it might have been a porno.
Summer of 65. James is living in a Venice beach, right? He's on the beach. He actually lives on a rooftop of his buddy's house, Dennis Jacobs. He's like, I'm going to sleep on the roof and not pay you rent. And he's like, okay.
Doesn't sound like you're asking any questions here, James. Go ahead.
Yeah, friends were saying Jim lived off of canned beans and LSD.
That was the time of the year, or the time in history. That was Venice Beach, huh?
Venice Beach, California.
That's where they got is that Muscle Beach?
Muscle Beach.
Yeah.
Did you just scratch your head instinctively to
No,
flash the
I was
biceps?
trying to think. I'm trying to think. What's the name of the
Ben's
Santa
flexing
Monica
on me.
Boulevard goes right down there somewhere?
Ben's doing power moves.
Santa Monica Boulevard.
All right, Alanis. Was that Alanis?
No.
That's
Cheryl.
what's her name, Sheryl Crow. Yep. It's rumored he wrote lyrics for many early Doors songs while he's sleeping on that roof.
Well, he had according to everything I know, in a movie I puked to the end to. He was a poet. He didn't write songs. He just wrote poetry.
Well, he wrote Moonlight Drive and Hello, I Love You, sitting on the roof.
Listen to his lyrics. They're not that good.
Wow. All right.
They're not.
We'll get there. I mean, we won't, but you'll understand more about the lyrics in a minute. But
All
he
right.
does. He's a poet, like Ben's saying. You're giving people the right facts. He was a writer, artiste.
I don't think he was ever a singer.
Not really. That's
I mean,
why
even his vocals aren't.
Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Hello, I love you.
Do you think they used a Moog? I think they had a Moog.
Yes. We'll get to his Moog and his keyboard playing because he doesn't play a lot of instruments ever on stage, but we'll get there. Anyway, with fellow UCLA student, we're ahead of ourselves, Ray Manzarek. He and James are the first guys in the Doors, right? Ray was on the beach in Venice with these guys, and James reads him some poetry. Ray's like, those sound like rock lyrics, man. We should start a band. Started a band. They pick up Bobby Krieger. He's on guitar. And then Josh Densmore is on the drums. Notice lack of bass player. And they form the Doors.
I don't think any of those musicians were all that capable. I mean, they were capable, but they weren't extraordinary.
Ray Manzarek gets some props because he wrote. We'll get there.
I meant music with their instruments and stuff.
Oh yeah. They weren't groundbreaking, but
yeah.
I think it was all about the words and the LSD and the psychedelic.
I think it was. Yeah, it was the vibe.
The Doors got their name from.
The pantry.
Yeah, the door, just doors. There's
Yeah,
just doors everywhere. No, from Aldous Huxley's book, The Doors of Perception.
I don't know that book. It's a
a
book. I read one book. It was about the Doors.
We've brought up Aldous Huxley before.
Have we?
Yeah, he's a big philosopher. He wrote like 96 books and stuff on all sorts of subjects. But anyway, that's where the Doors. There's a line in his book, The Doors of Perception, that comes from another line like, the doors of perception will be opened when all men realize that everything is infinite, or something like that. Everybody but James was into this Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's meditation thing, right?
Yeah, the Beatles are responsible for that, I
Well,
think.
the rest of the dudes in the band, though, like the rest of the Doors, except for James, they all had scheduled times and classes that they would go and meditate to this Mahesh Yogi thing. And James was like, I'm going to go
do some more acid
and write some lyrics, guys. James wrote most of the lyrics himself. Now, guitarist Robbie Krieger, he co-wrote Light My Fire, Love Me Two Times, and Love Her Madly. So when James has help, it goes really, really well. On the flip side, James didn't write songs playing an instrument, though.
No, he didn't really play any instrument, did he?
No. Well, he would just sing the melodies and then leave it to the guys to figure out the chords and the rhythm. And then James, on stage, you only saw him play the maracas or the tambourine, but he did play the moog and the organ and the grand piano and stuff like that.
And I only he played them that. He just hit button.
Man, you really don't like Jim Morrison, do you?
I puked one time. You want me to bring a bowl of chili next?
Yeah,
oh, that's Nick. You'll probably eat chili.
You guys hold a grudge, don't you? Jeez, I tell you. Thought I was bad. January 23rd, 1966. James takes a road trip with some buddies.
We haven't really had a Brian Kinsley angry old man episode in a while, have we?
Oh, I was working on a rant. I got in a whole rant about driving the other day, knowing that this was coming up, because I'll go into it. I'm sick and tired of these people driving these giant trucks and not stopping at goddamn stop signs, or when they come out of a store or something, like from a parking lot to a roadway, they don't stop. They
what
just
kind
coast,
of, like a
coast,
semi-truck?
No, like a freaking Dodge Ram, like a Ford F-150, 250, 350, GMC, Silverados. Any of you assholes driving
pickup truck.
Giant pickup trucks, stop your damn truck. I know it's a pain in the ass, because then you got to start your big Hemi up again, but stop when you're coming out of freaking parking lots.
Only trucks you notice don't stop?
Only trucks. Nobody stops, actually. If I'm a cop and I need to make my quota, not that there's a quota system, but if there is, go sit at a four-way stop. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, dude. People are all directing traffic like it's the 30s. Like, I don't pay you, dude. I pay taxes for cops to do this. I'm not paying you to tell me how to drive, and you're wrong. I got here first. Right away, I go, then you go, then she goes. People waving each other through. It's ridiculous.
You don't like people waving people?
Oh my God! Down here where we live, there's one driving school, right? And that's the problem. There's one driving school. They don't teach people how to fucking drive. You never see people driving at night. You ever see a driving school car at night? Nope. How you learn?
Well, you gotta have so many hours at night.
Do you know? See, I don't know
before
the
you
rules
driving
anymore.
schools. Before you get to the driver's testing thing.
As soon as they took driver's ed out of high school, it just ruined it. It just made people drive shitty. You and I went to the same driver's ed class.
Yeah.
It's like 6 weeks in the middle of the summer, every day at like 7 a.m.
Mr. Evans and Mr. Beam is teaching us how to do things.
Freaking
Mr.
what's his
Hart,
Zilwicki was up there.
Ziliaki.
Whatever.
He had that
right?
big afro head and those little mustache.
We drove around this parking lot in this high school, and like we had luminas and like geoprisms and stuff like that.
And they had that brake on the opposite side. For the driver's training teacher had an extra brake they somehow mounted in there.
Yeah, some switches and levers. But yeah, and we learned how to drive really well. We had to do like serpentines and figure eights backwards and stuff.
But we went on the road.
No, I know, but I'm saying we actually did like a course. Nowadays, they just stick people in a parking lot and then just go, let's go on the road. Oh, you're going too slow. Oh, you're going too fast. Like, I don't know. It's not the same.
All right, Brian, old man Brian Kinsley's angry rant.
Learn to drive, everybody.
Everybody's stupid.
I can't wait until self-driving cars. People are going to be super pissed by the lack of control, but...
Oh, you're going to be mad about something then, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm not.
Back in my day, we used to have to drive our own cars, damn it, and we liked it. Now they got these self-driving cars, and I can't go in that HOV lane, and...
I drive a stick, too, so I'm old school. I do like driving my own car.
I haven't had to use a clutch on a car in a long time.
It messes you up when you do that every day and then switch to your wife's car, which is an automatic. You're like,
I
brake.
think I can do it. I mean, every car is a little different.
Oh, yeah.
To get that feel for the clutch, but yeah, I can do it.
Well, much like us driving in shitty old cars, James and his buddies take some shitty old cars and go on a trip. And after a while, stuff goes a little weird. People sort of start arguing and stuff, so the group splits up, right? James goes off with his buddy Phil Oleno.
Oleno?
I knew you were going to pick up on that. Him and James take off, right? They go their way, and the other dudes go the other way. But only James comes back.
What happened to Phil?
Yeah, exactly. Then James starts talking about how he killed Phil and buried him in the desert.
Well, that's something.
Phil's dad didn't really think that was funny, so he calls James bluff. He's like, "Man, have the police start an investigation on you, buddy. Why don't you start telling me what's up now?"
So he said he just came back. Phil's not around. He's like,
killed him, buried him in the desert.
Phil is dead.
Phil is dead. Age 23. Over the course of the investigation, it turns out that James kissed a 14-year-old girl without permission.
How old was he?
23.
Not supposed to do that.
No, you're not supposed to do that. That's like right at the beginning of the trip, like, I don't know, kiss somebody and like, oh, okay, have a good trip, bye.
I mean, if that's all it was, we can get around it a little bit, but you're not supposed to do it.
James was arrested on sexual assault charges and questioned about the disappearance of Phil Oleno.
Well, yeah, he said he killed him.
All charges were dropped when Phil resurfaced.
Liar.
June 1966.
Where was Phil at?
Don't worry about it.
Just like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. No, they never tell you what happened to Phil. Phil's story, I don't know Phil's story. Get on it if you know Phil's story.
All right.
June 1966, the Doors have a week-long gig as the opening band for Van Morrison.
That seems about right.
At Hollywood's Whiskey A Go-Go.
That's still a thing.
Yeah, that is very much a thing. It's a good club. And so here's the thing, though. James was inspired by Van and his stage work, right? Like how he did poetry sometimes during the rock beats, and then how Van Morrison would crouch down to the bass drums during the instrumental parts, let the musicians kind of shine, and like, just sort of that reckless sort of sort of stage presence.
He liked Van Morrison's stage presence.
Yeah, he kind of
the way he conducted himself
on stage.
Stagecraft.
Okay. He really liked that. So that was really inspirational for young James there. And then there's a really cool one. They do a version of Gloria where they have Van Morrison's band and the Doors all on stage at one time doing Gloria.
Really?
Gloria, G-L-O-R-I-A, Gloria. So yeah. That brings us up to 1967. What we're going to do right now is take a little break.
A wee little break?
A wee little break.
For we?
Load up more on our margaritas and our beers.
I think I'm good on the Guinness here. I have Guinnesses. I'm gonna have a Guinness.
Another tonic water for you?
No, I'm good on the alcoholic tonic waters.
Go get your tacos.
Do you have tacos?
Do I have tacos? I don't know.
I would love a taco right about now. I've been eating too many hamburgers lately. Seriously. It's been a problem. They're not little hamburgers either. They're big ones.
And we're back.
With the bongo song.
With the bongo song.
All right, at break, we watched some YouTube videos. No.
We were watching Hulu.
Hulu's. Yeah, Brian had to show me, what was the name of the show?
Letterkenny.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I'm going to have to watch some.
Oh, it's a hilarious show.
Yep, we're going to have to watch some of that.
If you grew up with hockey players like I did.
Yeah, I got a good buddy who's that kind of guy.
Oh, dude.
Well, I mean, the Bob guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he toured all those areas. He was a semi-pro hockey player for 10 years.
Yep, this is northern Canada, so
he went everywhere. He's got crazy stories.
Oh, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, talk about crazy stories. 1967, the Doors become a national sensation. They've got some crazy stories after signing with Elektra Records.
Did they blow up quick?
They did, because they released the single Light My Fire.
And that was from the get-go.
First song spent 3 weeks at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100. Come on, baby, light my fire.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. The Doors appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Hello.
Really good show. Really good. Tonight we've got the Doors.
Nice young kid.
Introduced the world to people like the Beatles and Elvis, the Ed Sullivan Show did. And so it's like a big-time platform to put your band out there. They wanted the Doors to play 2 songs. People are strange when you're a stranger.
People look ugly when you're alone.
And come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set... So they wanted him to play People Are Strange and Light My Fire.
Yeah, Light My Fire.
2 big hits at the time, right? But they wanted James to change the lyrics in Light My Fire, where he says...
Higher?
Girl, we couldn't get much higher. They're like, could you just go, girl, we couldn't get much better.
He didn't like that?
Well, no, actually, they were quite receptive. And at the back, well, they... Because, like, you're saying it's higher, and they thought it was like drug use and stuff like that. And the Doors were like, no, totally get it. We'll do it your way.
We'll do whatever, man.
Doing the dressing room, they're like, we're on your show. We'll do it your way.
I like that. I have my line in the sand, but we can move it a little bit for this show.
Right. Ed Sullivan Show. Big. Yeah. Elvis, the Beatles, make us big. So they went out there and they played it the normal way. And just did, we couldn't get much higher. Fuck you, Ed Sullivan.
Oh, did they do that?
Yup.
Oh, they lured him in with a false sense of security.
Sure did. No, we'll do it your way, bud. That's great. Cameras
Dude,
are rolling.
High fives for everybody.
Cameras are on. We're on TV, live. Can't do anything.
We're not doing that, are we?
Do it our way, guys. Right. Normal way, guys. Ed Sullivan was pissed.
Did he ban him from the show forever?
Producers told the Doors they'd never play the Ed Sullivan Show again. James said, quote, hey, man, we just did the Ed Sullivan Show.
All right, I now like him a little bit more.
I figure I'm trying to win you.
Nope, I've already stepped on your back. I'll see you later, bud.
The Doors released their second album, Strange Days.
Now, they had hits on multiple albums.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Their band, they had a blend of blues and psychedelic rock and kind of made the Doors one of the most popular bands in the US. It was
psychedelic rock,
at the time. They did conceptual songs, too, like The End. This is the end. My only friend. The end.
And if we could just get a little seed money, everybody, I'm just saying go to Patreon.
Yeah.
We can maybe pay for some of these songs. You don't have to listen to us sing.
They also did one called Celebration of the Lizard.
Probably still going to sing.
I am the Lizard King! Because he calls himself the Lizard King. It's conceptual songs, so it's like weird shit.
James Spader was on the show The Office. Like one of the show, the television show The Office.
Yes.
Jim and Pam and Dwight.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah. Well, the American version, of course. So, he was a producer, so yeah.
Do your thing.
And he, at one of the very last shows he was in, because they kind of, that character came and went. And I like James Spader. He's a good dude. Ever since his role in Seinfeld, where he was trying to give everybody the apologies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was James Spader. So, at the end, he looked at Jim and he goes, you don't even know my real name. I'm the fucking, they believe it out, Lizard King. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, that's Lizard King.
You want me to apologize to you because your fat head stretched out my sweater? Is that what you want me to apologize to you for?
That's James Spader. What was that show? He was in another show, like a lawyer. He was a bad guy. The
Blacklist.
The Blacklist. Yeah, man, there's so many shows I want to watch.
You can watch TV forever now.
I can't get off the same two stupid shows.
This is a Joe Rogan thing. He's like, do they need to keep making porn? I mean, like, you're never going to get through it all.
Get through it.
You're never going to. I'm like, right?
I can barely get through 2 minutes of it. What are you talking about? I queue up 3 shows. I can only get through like the first 5 seconds of the first one.
You could stop right now, never have another ounce of porn ever made, and still be able to watch porn until you die.
Yeah.
Never watch the same thing twice.
No. You ever see porn stars like in interviews that they're big porno stars and you're looking at them, you're like, I don't recognize her at all. And they give their names.
Yeah, never seen.
And then you'll like Google them and you'll watch them doing their porn. Oh, I know her.
I've seen you.
I just didn't recognize your face. That's so bad.
Oh,
all right.
Oh.
How does it always get to porn?
Porn
or food?
I don't know. Speaking of porn, December 10th, 1967 in New Haven, Connecticut, the home of porn, before a show, James was entertaining some women backstage, like this lady. They're in the green room area, you know, sort of.
Bet he was
Getting it on, right?
Bet he was.
And then they wanted some privacy, so they started to sort of slide over to the shower stall that was in this bathroom, right? So that's hilarious. I really forgot that this story went into that. So coming off of porn, really transitioned perfectly. So they're in this shower stall, right? But this cop sees them backstage, like one of the security cops walking around the venue. The cop's like, "Hey, break it up, break it up, break it up." And James told the cop, he's like, "I'm in the band, man. Just go away."
Go away.
Right? Like telling a woman to calm down. That did not go well with the cop.
Simmer down.
So the cop goes over, pushes James. Fucking Jim Morrison, bitch. So Jim pushes him back.
Yeah.
He's like, "You know who I am?" So then what's the cop do?
Yeah, probably. Well, calls more cop buddies. Nope.
Maces both of them.
Ew, that's not sexy.
Take it. You take it and you like it. They're both going to be arrested.
For what?
But well, I don't know. Resisting. You can be arrested for resisting arrest. So just think of that.
All right. Yeah.
Why? Why are you arresting me? Because you're resisting arrest. But okay. Huh.
I guess I don't have a choice in the matter.
So they were going to arrest him, right? But they didn't want to incite a riot because this is before the concert. So they're like, well, we can't really arrest the lead singer of the Doors at the concert with all these people.
We'll be waiting for you when you're done.
And then once the cop, funny you say that, once the cop realized who he was, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were that Jim Morrison. I thought you were just some asshole named James making out with some chick backstage." So the concert goes on. James goes out.
Oh, hold on. What happened in the shower with the girl?
They got maced. That pretty much shuts you down, buddy.
Turn the shower head on and wash off a little bit.
Well, he's got to play a show, too. So all the time he spent being maced, he was probably going to be doing bad things to that girl. So, or, inappropriate.
Be doing bad things to each other.
There you go.
Come on.
Oddly enough, they're playing Backdoor Man. And James, he would kind of go off in these poetry things, right? And he'd just start talking. Well, Sidebar. During Backdoor Man, James goes, "Sidebar." And starts telling the crowd what happened backstage for the show. He's like, just to let you know, cops maced me in the face back there, and he starts going
Paul Blart.
He starts launching into this incendiary diatribe against cop.
Blue Lives Matter, Brian.
Called him a little blue pig and a little blue man with a little blue hat. He just kept sort of just poking.
I don't think the rest of the cops that were holding, and being hired there to keep the peace probably like that.
So when James finally said, "They'll do it to you," about cops macing you, as soon as he said that, all the police at the event rushed the stage and arrest old James. And they charge him with inciting a riot and public obscenity because he dropped a couple of F-bombs, and then indecency. He claimed he got his dick out.
Did he get his dick out?
Everybody, the drummer, people in the crowd, what do you call them? Writers who were there covering it say they never saw his dick. But there was like 20,000 people, and it was such a bad venue, even if he did, you wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
Yeah, he's a white dude.
So,
what about the Red Hot Chili Peppers concerts? Oh, there's a dick. I couldn't have done that.
No.
I couldn't have done that.
No.
Because you know what? You might not have seen their dicks.
Yeah.
But you saw their BHs.
Yeah. Not doing that. It's that whole Tommy Lee leather G-string thing, too. Just like, man, that's...
Well,
it's a confidence I don't have.
No. I'm scared. How would they keep the socks on?
Oh, dude.
I can't even keep socks pulled up on my feet.
I don't want to put a band around it. Yeah, that seems like that'd be uncomfortable.
You
I'd be
glue?
thinking about it the whole time. No, I'm not gluing stuff to my junk.
I mean, how did they keep them socks on?
Confidence, my man. Confidence. Speaking of confidence,
Viagra.
James continued to verbally trash the cops the entire ride to the station in the cop car, and then while he is being booked too, he's like, fuck you guys, fuck you guys. He kept doing that to the point where several officers threatened to beat James up after their shift was over. We'll see you later, bud.
What year was this?
19...
Like in the 60s still?
67.
7. All right.
There's a lot of cards to go back to 1967.
And back then you didn't have the technology like we do today to video record everything. So they probably did it all the time.
What's your name and your badge number? Am I being detained? Am I free to go?
Yeah, that doesn't happen back then.
Right. It's
I mean,
called
there
Shut
were
the
good
Fuck Up
cops.
Mondays.
There were good cops and bad cops through the history of cops.
Hey, James, it's called Shut the Fuck Up Mondays. What do we do when we get pulled over by a cop? Shut the fuck up. January 28th, 1968, Las Vegas, Nevada. James is at the Pussycat A-Go-Go Club smoking a cigarette with writer Robert Grover. Beautiful. James starts smoking the cigarette like it's a joint, right? Like he's got the backwards-handed sort of grip on it, right?
You know, that's how the French would smoke their...
Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, he's smoking it
the French would
style.
do it like this. They'd kind of hold it like this under their palm.
There you go.
Instead of holding it out just like everybody can see it, you kind of hide it. You
Uh,
want to know why?
No. Oh, I do know, but go ahead and tell people.
Trench warfare.
Right.
Yeah,
You
trench warfare.
Aim for the cigarette butt.
That's right. They would hide. A lot of the Europeans, being in so much trench warfare,
Cocky
would kind of
Americans.
hold their cigarettes like that. And it was just the style of smoking. It probably still is
That's what you
for
do.
the people that still smoke.
Makes sense. I mean, logically makes sense.
That's
Well,
how I hold my e-cigarette.
James starts smoking French style, and patriotic security guard saw it and was like, "Not my
what?
watch, buddy."
A patriotic security guard?
Oh yeah, you do this American way, buddy, or you don't do it.
All right, got it.
So James said, and I spelled it out so I could read it. James said, "Why didn't you jump my ass?" And the security guard cracks a billy club across James' head. Don't talk back, bitch.
Yakety yak.
James and Robert were arrested for public drunkenness and disturbing the peace.
By having billy clubs at their head.
Right. Do you see what you did to that guy's club? Look, it's got a dent in it now.
Dude,
It's got blood all
you
over
can't
it.
just walk around my town and hit your head against all these billy clubs.
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? So, as James does, he taunts the cops at the club, out in the parking lot, and then at the police station.
It's his
Like,
thing, man.
Fucking pigs. Hate you guys. You guys are assholes. You're taxpayers. You work for me. I pay your salary.
Anarchy. Anarchy.
You guys see what's happening? I'm being kidnapped. I'm being kidnapped.
Violence inherent in the system. There's violence inherent in the system.
Both guys were strip searched and deloused, so they throw the boric acid powder on them, then tossed into a cell.
Huh.
All for smoking a cigarette French style.
Deloused.
God.
Hey, they got that. You remember Rambo, the movie Rambo?
Yes.
When they took him in
It's
and
out
whatever.
now. You can see it. It's
There's
called
a
Rambo.
new Rambo out.
Last Blood.
And my kids we saw the commercial,
We got to finish the cycle.
and it occurred to me, my boys need to see Rambos.
Oh, yeah?
All the Rambos.
Yeah.
Even the bad ones.
Oh, it's Commandos, Alyssa Milano. I'm like, Rambo, though, man.
No, Rambo was the first one, First
Blood.
That was great.
That was a good one.
That was a great movie. That was a good movie. You do First Blood.
Well, this is Last Blood, and I'm going to guarantee you that Rambo dies in the end. I guarantee it here on the show.
Do you want to make any predictions for the next Star Wars movie?
It's going to suck.
I don't think it'll suck.
I feel like it's going to suck.
Leia's my true princess.
Yes. Rey has to be a Skywalker. If not, this is all stupid.
You want a prediction?
Prediction.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Palpatine's granddaughter. And there's more than one of her.
Oh, clone? No.
Bring in the clones.
Stupid.
Dude,
Told
I
you
think
it's stupid.
this is all setting up for the next big Star Wars 9-movie dealio.
What are you going to do, though? I mean...
Are just armies of cloned Jedis. All bad dudes.
I agree with Luke Skywalker. The Jedi need to die. I'm done. I'm out. I'm pulling the chute. 30 years.
The Force killed him, you know.
70. Shit. 70. 7?
The Force killed Luke Skywalker. No, Rey's going to be Palpatine's granddaughter. And...
We're almost working on like 40 years here, 50 years.
40, yeah. To 90, 76, 77?
Yeah.
Yeah, 42, 43, 41 years, something like that. All right.
My last thing I'll say is that they show the new Disney World with the Star Wars world. And this little 9-year-old girl's like walking up with her dad. She's like, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. Like, you shut your mouth. You do not understand what I've been waiting for.
Angry old Brian's coming out again.
9 fucking years. Been waiting 40 years for this to conclude.
He's now fighting with 9-year-olds on the
Kidding me?
internet.
You get behind me. Like, I'm going first to the Millennium Falcon. You don't even know.
You don't even know, man. You don't even know.
You're all on Han Solo movie Millennium Falcon, all right? I'm way back. I'm
geeked for the new Star Wars. And I'm not a big movie guy. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy, but it's one of those movies that it's been with us forever, Brian.
I have to see how this ends.
It ain't. It ain't ending, dude. It's setting up the next one. It's Disney. Are you kidding me? The whores at Disney are going to string you along until you're dead.
I suppose.
Hey, I read an article this morning. Do you know how much money Disney made this summer at the box office?
For what?
For all the things they did?
No.
Half of it. Everyone that made a movie, including Disney, made this much money. Picture pie graph.
Right.
Disney made this much of it. So Disney this summer was as big as everyone else combined. Wow. It's like the U.S. spending on military. We spend 50% of the world's budget on our military. Everyone else spends the other 50%, like Japan and Hong Kong and
we're matching
China and the UK and France and Mexico and Bolivia and Croatia and whatever. Add all those other people up, boom, that's 50%. We are the Disney of the world. Whole new world.
It's a small world after all. Owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Well,
now they don't have to come up with the new content. They just recycle everything.
It's already written for them, man. That's like those Marvel movies. They're all comic books. You already got them all written.
No, they already made a movie. It's called The Lion King. Hey, how do you think it's going to end? I don't know. Let's already do it. We'll use that movie. Okay, let's use that movie.
Let's move it.
Prediction, next Lion King, 10 years, animated.
I figure like people are going to get sick of remakes when they do remake Back to the Future. Wow, Doc. I really do. They'll be like, it's too far. You can't. No, we're not. Or E.T. I'm like, they're going to be like, no.
And if
we're
they
not
redo E.T., they better get Drew Barrymore in there somehow.
Oh, she'd have to be the mom. She'd have to be. I do like Drew Barrymore.
I like her a lot. I think she's funny. She's good. She's my people.
Well, much like myself going off on 9-year-olds and Star Wars fans, James keeps going off at the cops while he's in jail.
Not supposed to do that.
He just keeps firing off at the mouth, right? And again, the cops are like, dude, I'm going to punch out and I'm going to kick your ass.
At a point, you want to punch somebody.
Well, before that happens, Robert, the guy he got busted with, his girlfriend, they post bail for both of them, and they get out of there.
All right.
So, 1968, the Doors released their third album, Waiting for the Sun.
Waiting for the sun.
I feel like it's all the same. They play the Hollywood Bowl, right? Like, that's big time. They're getting big time, basically. It's the first time they go to Europe also for the left-handed French cigarette smoking style. They play the Roundhouse in London with Jefferson Airplane.
Was that before Jefferson Starship?
Yeah, yes, it was.
Yeah.
And before, what's-his-name got knocked out.
Did anybody get stabbed with a bike spoke?
Not then.
All right. Were they still recovering from their bikes? What year was this?
This is 68.
Oh, this is before 69.
Right.
All right.
We'll actually get there. James was a long-time heavy drinker. Started showing up to the studio visibly drunk around this time. He started showing up late for live shows, too. He's like, I'll get there when I get there.
I got to go talk to the police first.
He gained some weight, as with heavy drinking will do.
Val Kilmer style.
Yeah. It all ties.
That's why they got Val Kilmer to do
Beautiful. He grew a beard. He stopped wearing leather pants, and he just opted for jeans and a T-shirt. Like, comfort. As we both check our outfits, it is function, not fashion in this studio.
I tuck my T-shirts in now to my jeans, by the way. I think we've talked about this earlier episodes.
Why? Does it make you look slimmer? What are you doing there?
You want to know?
Yes. You don't want your ass hanging out?
When I sit in a seat? No. This is even worse. When I sit in a seat, I'm just kind of leaning over here. If I don't have a T-shirt on, my belt buckle digs into my belly. It digs. So the T-shirt's like it's like what runners put on their nipples for chafing. I just have my T-shirt's an anti-belly button chafing thing for my belt.
I see.
And I'm not even that fat.
I see.
Eh.
You could just stop wearing belts.
I'll stop wearing pants altogether.
Why don't you just buy pants that fit?
Well, if I stop wearing pants, I'm still going to put a belt on so I can hang 2 pockets from it.
I see. You got to have your pockets.
You got to have your pockets. Got to
Gotta
have
have
somewhere
your
to put your hands.
Pockets. Speaking of pockets.
Hot pockets.
During the song Touch Me, March 1st, 1969. Thank you. Miami, Florida. James stops during Touch Me, and he's like, the band, he doesn't want them to play, and he starts talking about love and hate, like the general concepts. Wait. So really,
I just want to say one thing about love and hate.
you should really love each other more.
Just give me a minute.
And so an audience member gets a little twitchy during this talk, and he pours a bottle of champagne on James.
Oh.
He's like, bubble it up, buddy. This is a little too depressing for me. Give me some chipper. And James.
Who's got a bottle of champagne at a crowd? I mean.
In Miami, Florida, man, they're popping bottles. That's what they do. Let's go hear the Doors.
A little Chrissy.
Right. So, right. So James goes hockey player, and he whips off his jersey, right?
Takes his hat off. Takes his tank top off.
Tarps off, boys.
Puts hat back on.
Smooth
Go.
move. It's go time. It's go time. Yeah. So like James gets his high school party on, and but he holds the jersey, holds the shirt over his crotch, right? He starts simulating masturbation. He starts yelling, "You want to see my cock?"
I know the right answer to that.
Want to see my cock?
No. Nope.
James also allegedly exposes himself on stage as well. Allegedly.
Well,
concert promoters shut the show down after James starts screaming for revolution. And
this guy just wants to make a mess.
Audience members start climbing on stage, and so it's chaos.
Anarchy. Anarchy.
Some say growing up in a military home may have led to some rebellion. I don't know.
Yeah, trying to swim the other direction a little bit too hard, is he?
I think thou protest too much, sir. 6 warrants are issued for James's arrest that night for lewd and lascivious behavior. That's a felony. 2 misdemeanors for profanity, and 2 misdemeanors for public exposure, and 1 for public drunkenness.
Huh.
They're coming hard.
You gotta cast a wide net sometimes after these celebrities.
James turns himself in 1 month later.
Screaming and yelling at the police the whole time.
He's found guilty of public exposure and profanity, but not the lewd behavior, so he drops the felony.
Lawyers.
Or the public drunkenness.
Lawyers.
He gets 6 months and a $500 fine. James appeals the first 2 charges, posts $50,000 bail, and he's waiting for his appeal trial.
So he's waiting to see if he has to actually go to jail.
Correct. November 9th, 1969. Phoenix, Arizona. James and his buddy Tom are flying to Phoenix to see the Rolling Stones play at Veterans Memorial Coliseum. They're like, we're going to a concert. Love the Stones.
This is before...
let's go.
This is before their concert up there in Northern California.
Correct.
All right.
James and Tom are accused of vulgar language. And
before the Stones. What was that one called?
What? The
concert in Northern California that we talked about.
Not the Monterey Pop Festival.
No.
The Free Altamont.
Yeah, this is before Altamont.
Oh, this is
right
before
Altamont.
This is right before Altamont.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, so James and Tom are flying to see the Stones before Altamont.
Mm.
And they're on the plane, and they're accused of vulgar language and throwing glasses inside the aircraft while it's in flight.
You're not even supposed to do that today.
You're not, you can't do that.
Oh, they'll drag your ass off a plane for anything anymore.
Oh, dude, yeah, watch your political views. Just shut up, get on the plane.
Just be quiet, sit down, shut up.
Shut the fuck up, Mondays.
Shut the fuck up.
They're booked into city jail for drunken disorderly conduct on a flight and interference with the flight crew.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
A lot of people are trying to do things, man. It's not all about you.
Before his arrest, Arizona state officials banned the Doors from performing in Phoenix ever again.
Huh. I guess the Who aren't allowed to in Flint.
Yep.
And the Doors aren't allowed in Phoenix.
Well, he almost caused a riot last time he was in Phoenix, too, so they're just like, this guy, 2 strikes, you're out.
He didn't put a car in the pool.
The Doors passed on Woodstock.
Did they?
Robbie Krieger said, quote, "We never played at Woodstock because we're stupid and turned it down. We thought it would end up like a second-class repeat of the Monterey Pop Festival."
The what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew? It was the Yes Festival.
Hey, I just saw a list of what all the bands at Woodstock got paid.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't a lot.
Yeah, nope, probably wasn't.
I mean, some of the bigger names got paid more, but not a whole lot. I don't even think it was a lot
Santana
for
and those
back
dudes
then.
made like $1,000, maybe $500.
Yeah.
Well, August 4th, 1970.
No, they got paid in the thousands, but
Oh, did they really?
well, yeah, but you got to split that up. You got to think you're the Who. You're getting paid $25,000. He's making $5,000.
That's not bad though. I mean, for a 3-day rock festival.
Yeah.
But what about Santana's and the Hendrixes and?
I think
those
Jimi
dudes?
Hendrix was the highest paid.
Okay.
I think his band was the one of the highest paid, if probably the highest paid.
Crosby, Stills, Nash were filling. So did they make a bunch of money?
I think
mean,
yeah. Well,
everybody's
no,
making
nobody
money?
made that much. I don't even think by the standard of then it was all that much money.
I see.
But that freaking barely sold any tickets. Everybody just like stormed the gates. Well, all right, let's do this.
It's all the exposure, right? I mean,
Well, that's launched them all into some crazy ass careers.
right.
Yeah, I don't think that the Who had to worry about money much longer after that.
No, people knew who they were.
Yeah, the Who
Exactly.
didn't happen.
No, people knew who they were. Well, much like the Who, August 4th, 1970, people knew who James was. He fell asleep late drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fell asleep on the porch, on the front porch. And
Stereotyping their brain.
what? What? No. Actually, I don't even know what you're talking about, but that's fine. James is asleep on the front porch, right? And wasn't his front porch. It was the front porch of Eleanor Bros. She's 68. She's got a house in West Hollywood.
It's not Eleanor Bros. It's Eleanor
Bros.
Bras.
Brough.
Bra.
Oh, it might be bra.
Bras.
So Eleanor
Yo,
Bra.
bra.
So E-Bras.
Hey, bra.
So yeah, James is out
Don't mess with
drinking,
me,
and he's
bra.
like, "I'm just gonna go sleep on the porch here because I think I'm home." But he's not. She found him. She went out for the morning paper, and she's like, "Holy shit, that's Jim Morrison!
And why is this cock out?
Get on my porch! Get here!" Like she's shooting off cats. So Eleanor calls the cops. They arrest James. He pays $25 in bail, and he's released. Scheduled to go to court in Beverly Hills a little later on.
$25 in bail.
Right. March 1971, James heads off to Paris to join his friend Pamela Corson, as we were talking about.
That girl.
Reese Witherspoon, right?
No.
That's who plays her in the movie. You read it to me before when the episode started.
Wasn't Reese Witherspoon.
Oh my
It's
god.
with a knife. No,
Oh.
it wasn't. It wasn't Reese. It wasn't her.
That's who it was. That's what you said. She rents an apartment.
Meg Ryan, dick.
Fine. Same thing. It's all the same.
Just about.
So Meg Ryan rents an apartment in 1719 Rue Beautreilles in La Marais, Paris.
That's how you say that. It's French.
I actually had 3 years of French in high school. I can sort of speak French like my Sesame Street.
Mrs.
Spanish.
Harshfield, if you're ever listening to this, I apologize for everything I did in French class. I was a dick. I was a bad student. I was a disruption to your class. I should have never jumped out that window during the fire drill. I know that now. I'm sorry. And my French teacher, like my last quarter of the semester, she says, Ben, there's no way you can pass my class. You could ace everything from here on out, but how bad you've already done up until this point, you're not going to get, you can't get a passing grade. Mathematically, you've already failed. And we still have 3 months of school to go.
Wow.
So here's the deal.
0 effort, Ben, huh?
Here's the deal. I didn't need the credits. I didn't give a shit.
Wow.
She says,
okay,
this was my 5th hour class. My 6th hour class was gym.
Yup.
Which I never went. Our gym teacher was an old drunk. He didn't take attendance. It was gym.
He was one of our driver's ed teachers.
One of our driver's ed
Hit
teachers.
your head with your hand really hard. Now imagine if like you didn't have a seatbelt on. Who the fuck is this guy?
So Mrs. Harshfield says to me, she says, I'll make you a deal. I'm going to write you a hall pass. One for every day until here on out. Go do whatever you want. Go to the library. You just have a hall. Walk around the halls. Don't care. And so she knew I was such a terrible disruption. And I was.
Kicked you out of class.
She didn't kick
The
me
rest
out.
of the year.
She allowed me not to have to go. Because I didn't want to be there. She didn't want me there. Here's a hall pass. So the best part is so I came in. Typing was my first hour. Didn't need that either. It was typing 201, so it was like second year of typing.
Were you guys using your thumbs?
Well, yeah, for the space bar.
Oh, yeah. Other than that, waste of time. We all type with our thumbs now.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, voice to text. So I didn't come in for my first hour, went to second, third, and fourth hour, and then hopped my ass in the Monte Carlo at fifth hour for French, went home, and then never showed up to sixth hour, which was gym. Didn't care. You know, they let you take 4 years of gym back then.
When did you get your GED?
Oh, my gosh. I still graduated with a pretty good, good enough to get in a mot.
Weren't you on the tennis team?
I was on the tennis team and the baseball team.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a dandy.
Yeah, Mrs. Harshfield. Her and I got along well other than the student-teacher relationship. We couldn't get along.
That was your French teacher?
Yeah, that was my French teacher. I feel like it was the coyote and that little dog that had the hair growing over his eyes and the
Morning,
Looney
Ralph.
Tunes.
Morning,
Sam. Like, you walked when you were fine, you were friends, and then you punched the card, you got into French class, and you had to go at it like cats and dogs.
So you had to be combative with this teacher is what I'm hearing.
I was just a disruption. I didn't care about French. I couldn't learn it.
Nice.
The fire drills would go off. I jumped out of the window.
You sound like a disruption.
Huge. Adam was in that class with me, too.
Oh, my God.
He said, you wouldn't believe how much we actually started getting done after you left.
Wow. All right.
We're Jim Morrison.
Much like yourselves, when Jim gets out of town and he's in Paris, he shaves his beard, he drops his weight. Things are getting better, man. Things are going good. Just had to get away from his rowdy friends who were a bad influence on him.
Yeah, it's always somebody else's fault.
He'd go for long walks around Paris and the city.
He liked Paris.
Yeah, things were great, right? July 3rd, 1971, age 27. Pam finds James dead in the bathtub.
It sounds like it's going great.
Things
wonderful.
I don't mean to laugh, but yeah, things were going well.
Did he choke on a ham sandwich?
No, that's the Elvis. The cause of death was listed as heart failure, but no autopsy was ever performed. Like, the French didn't require that as part of their investigations.
They just stuck him in the hole in the ground?
It's like, he's dead.
I declare he is dead as an eclair.
His cream filling is spoiled. James did have bad asthma, though.
I will taunt you for a second time.
And he used an inhaler.
Yeah?
He took this thing called Marax, and it was a drug used to treat asthma back in the day. But the FDA has since banned it because when you take Marax with alcohol, it can cause death. So again,
sounds like that might have a couple three-legged stools of proof to stand on here.
No autopsy.
Yeah.
There
Big Pharma. Beginning of Big Pharma.
James is buried at the, Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris.
La Champs-Élysées.
His name is wrong. They listed him as Douglas James Morrison instead of James Douglas Morrison.
Is that what's on the tombstone?
Right. It's incorrect.
It's a shrine. It's a bit of a shrine.
Yeah, it's one of the most popular visited things
ever
in the history of French cemeteries.
Yeah.
People still go there, even though it's wrong. Some suspect James faked his death. Might still be alive.
Really? Him and Elvis palling around?
He's been spotted in the Bahamas. He's been spotted in Paris. He's been spotted in Oregon.
Oregon? That's just Val Kilmer.
So, there's some documentaries on the YouTubes about the possible existence of Jim Morrison. So check that out if you're curious of that.
I wonder. I had two. Yeah, if you were just dumb rich celebrity and you want to fake your death and have your second part of your life be more anonymous, I wonder if you could. I wonder how hard it would be. And I don't think it would be impossible to do. Which then leads me to my next thought is, I wonder who's doing it.
But can you, Tupac, Biggie, can you just let go? Can you cut free? I mean, like, you as an individual, you would have, sure, you got all the money. You're living in Ibiza. And nobody, you can't talk to your family again. You can't talk to your friends. You can't really get on social media. You can't really go out and do stuff.
You could.
You'd have to change your look after a couple of years, and then you could. You could maybe have some people in on it, the people you cared about. But I think because if you're a celebrity and we were just driven so far away from being in the limelight, you hated it, a lot of your friends and your family never treated you the same throughout that existence of your celebrityhood. So you would maybe be willing to give up on some of them. I suppose.
There's my family I wouldn't mind giving on now.
Some don't have family either, some of these celebrities. That's why they're driven that much.
And a lot of them, maybe they question if they ever were my friends.
Yeah.
Were you my friend because I was me or because I had money and cocaine?
Right. Interesting.
So I'm not saying he is or isn't. I'm just saying if you had the means to fake your death and just go live on a private island somewhere.
It is possible.
I'm wondering, and I agree it's possible, and I'm wondering who's done it.
Somebody's done it.
Yeah.
If you can think of it, somebody's probably done it.
Yeah. That's
Well,
what. That's what our.
Oh no! What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say?
A friend of ours, a mutual good friend of ours that we have mentioned on the air before, not the person whose name shall not be spoken.
Oh.
We were talking to him one time about a girl he was going out with.
Were you fake this death? What?
No.
Oh,
No.
I'm like, what?
No, and they were kind of kinky. They got kinky.
Oh Lord.
And
I know what's going on.
and
now.
we were just talking, getting drunk one night.
I know what's going on. Now.
And he's like, man, we just do some crazy shit, like sexually.
That's what I've heard.
And and what do you mean? Explain? And he goes, I'm not telling you.
Por qué?
But if you can imagine it, we've done it. And so I'm starting to, like, if I can imagine it, if I can imagine it, he's like, I understand you have a good imagination. Yep, we've done it. Me want snoo. She was a big guy.
Exactly.
I liked her.
Futurama cosplay. I
thought she was fun. I thought she was.
She was interesting to talk to. Speaking of old times, James died 2 years to the day of Rolling Stones guitarist Brian Jones and 9 months after the death of Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin.
Really?
You ever hear of the 27 Club?
You got the 27 died?
Yep.
Is that it? No, I've never. But
No, seriously? Yeah. You not?
No.
Oh, that's a thing, man. That's like a cultural phenomena sort of in music and stuff is the 27 Club because you got people like Robert Johnson, Brian Jones, Alan Blind Owl Wilson, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Ron Pigpen McKernan, he's from the Grateful Dead, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse.
No shit.
Now, the statisticians have done the numbers, and there's no weird statistical anomaly.
There's a club for all ages.
Yeah, pretty much. But this is the 27 Club, and Jim Morrison is part of that.
All right.
Made it
Jim
to 27.
Morrison.
And a quote from James himself, quote, "There's nothing wrong with being a large mammal."
Enough said. All right.
Jim Morrison, everybody.
You know, everybody heard what I had to say about him at the beginning of the episode when I was talking about, like, puking, whatever. I honestly wish that he didn't die and kept going on and ended up making really bad music instead of on a high note.
Yeah,
that way they would have never made a movie about him. I wouldn't have had to watch a dumbass movie.
Wouldn't have puked, right? That was the whole thing with Elvis, too. They're like, imagine if he would have lived, he'd just be grinding it out like Wayne Newton style in Vegas.
Elvis was doing that.
Elvis,
Elvis,
old Elvis,
was doing
like,
that. At the Hilton Gardens, he was doing a
go.
show a night.
Nice.
Big fat Elvis getting up there on Strawberry Hill. And he's just a big fat dude at the Flamingo.
I don't think that's his
No,
song.
Flamingo at Paris, the Hilton Flamingo. Yeah.
The Flamingo was the gangster club.
Yeah. Oh, I remember staying there.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, it had it also had the Star Wars exhibit, Star Trek exhibit.
That Star Trek
about
was
10 years ago.
Awesome.
Or 20 years ago.
I was gonna say 20.
Eh.
I was chased by Borg through the deck of the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
No, but you know Elvis did that. Jim Morrison, I didn't know he got bit by a bee a little bit.
A little
for
bit.
a while.
Yeah.
And then he shaved a few lbs.
Well, got out of America under that French diet.
Really, you think the French diet? Oh, they use a lot of cream.
It's the whole thing, like French girls.
Or as the French call it, crème. All right.
It's
All right,
odd that
Jim Morrison.
We both had French in high school, and we both sound like shit.
I don't know any French, dude.
I apologize to France. Oh my God, what are we doing?
What?
France was like the largest European country that just downloaded our last couple podcasts, remember?
Yeah.
They're huge now. Oh, we have a huge French population. I apologize so much.
What are we apologizing for?
Our terrible French.
Well, I can't apologize for not speaking a language.
You took French in high school.
I was in a classroom. I wouldn't say I took French.
I had 3 years of French. I feel like I did a little bit okay.
I don't know. I don't have a real problem with France.
Parlez-vous français? Oui, je parle.
I mean, not anymore that I have a real problem with every other country, including mine.
Comme ci, comme ça.
Love the French.
I got no problem with the French. I don't know anything about the French people, to be honest, so I'm good.
I know a little bit about them. I know
I mean,
smoke
history,
cigarettes.
right? Don't smoke a cigarette all backwards. You get one, you won't get shot, but the cops in America will arrest you.
That's where they got that big, huge triangle thing, right? Made out of stone?
I think it's glass.
No, the pyramids.
That's Egypt, buddy.
Where's Egypt?
I don't know. Africa? Ha-ha!
No, they do have the Louvre in France. That's the
we
big.
have a map right
that's
here.
That's the big.
The Louvre.
The big triangle thing.
Yeah, they have a glass triangle built in front of the Louvre, which is a very nice art museum.
And then they got that
France.
big, huge phallic symbol there.
That I don't know about.
The Eiffel Tower.
Oh. That was built for the World's Fair. That was supposed to come down. They're supposed to take it apart, but they're like, it's nice. Let's leave it.
Lazy French.
Because we said lazy French. Again, I'm so sorry, French people. That's another episode of Crime and Music. If you'd like to complain to us, just hit us up on social medias. I'll pass it along to Ben.
Hey, did that guy ever start critiquing and telling us all the dumb shit we're getting wrong every single time? Did we ever hear back from him?
Githron?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Dude, get on it, dude. What are you, French?
Wow. No, he's English. So that's probably more offensive.
Close enough.
Was there like a river between them?
What do you got, a little body of water, like a pond?
Is there some type of small pond? Or...
That's where they got Chanel number 5, the English Chanel.
I take Chanel number 5. We're just alienating so many people now. I feel so bad. Why do you make me do this? It's the margaritas.
We are Americans, dude. We're expected to know nothing.
We're supposed to be morons.
Margaritas. They're French.
Margarita. Margarita.
Margarita. Before we run out of the song, give us our ending.
Guys, hit us up on social medias or go to the website. That would be bestcrimeandmusic.com. Leave us a speak pipe of your best French. And if you have any suggestions of people we should cover, please let us know there as well. And like the song says, never trust a big butt and a smile.
Tell me what to do. Technical difficulties!
Woo! Nailed it! Oh, they didn't record the technical difficulties, but we had them!
All right.
We nailed it!
We got it in. Last minute.
Woo!
Comes out of the wire.